Hello everyone, I'm Leena Baksh and this video is brought to you by EXPA Cadet Program. EXPA stands for Exchange Participants Association. So it's a association of all NCC cadets who have been on youth exchange program, and we've all started a program called as a cadet program where we train NCC cadets. And this video is a part of Cadet Diaries where we have a lot of webinar and videos which are very helpful for you. And after a very overwhelming response on our webinar, How to Join Defense Forces, we are yet again here to have a conversation on same. With me, I have two amazing people, Group Captain Nitin Valde sir and Kushal Sharma. So, sir, thank you so much for taking out time for our webinar, this conversation. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Leena, for inviting me and Kushal to be on panel with me. And it's always a matter of great delight and pride for me to be part of any NCC activity because I owe my entire career to what NCC's made me. So in that context, I'm extremely excited to be a part of this video series. I retired from the Air Force about 4 years back. I served the Indian Air Force for 23 years, and I'm a helicopter pilot. So I've flown all parts of the country, and I have done extensive amount of flying in the Northeast, in Siachen, and I've also been a trainer with NCC, with the Air Force. And then I got two amazing opportunities to represent India on two international assignments. And yeah, one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life is rescue a stranded guy, for which I was awarded a gallantry award by the President of India. So life has been extremely fulfilling, and I think after retirement, the kind of work I do in facilitation and leadership development, it's my homecoming back to NCC and talking with you guys and looking at what things are. So once again, thank you very much, and taking the conversation further. Allow me to be, Leena and Kushal, allow me to be changing roles. And instead of you guys asking questions, is it okay that I interact with you and ask you some questions today?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. We'll be glad to answer your questions.
Great, because I just want to get a sense so that our viewers also understand, because I left NCC almost 2.5 decades ago. So Kushal, could you just introduce yourself and tell us how does NCC happen nowadays in terms of the certificate entries or the number of years that you have to spend? Yeah, Kushal.
Yes, sir. Hi, people. My name is Kushal. I am from Bangalore. So I am also a trainer with the EXPA, the cadet program. I am a co-trainer with Leena. So here we are in conversation with Mr. Nitin Valde sir, and thank you, Leena, for inviting me on this panel. So yes, sir, getting back to your question, the NCC now is, as it has been, it is a voluntary organization. So you can do it in your school life as well, like when you enter high school, that is 8th, 9th and 10th, or you can do that in your college years as well. So here we have three certification exams. So that will be A, B and C. So the A certificate exam that you'll have to take when you are in the school level. So then once you're through with it, once you enter your college level, then there is a B certificate exam. So once you've entered your first PU or +1, so once you join your +1 after the second year, that is once you've completed your +2 in 2 years of NCC, you are eligible to take your B certificate exam. For that, you have a small criteria where you'll have to be done with 2 camps. So any sort of camp, you'll have to be done with 2 camps to be eligible to take the exam. And then once you're done with the B certificate exam, you've been graded accordingly. And then you go on to your third year. And then in your third year, you'll have to be completing at least 1 national level camp to be eligible to write your C certificate exam. So that C certificate exam will generally take place in your almost in your second year, about your second year of graduation. So once you're done with that, there are a lot of opportunities for you to join the defense forces and stuff, various entries, which we'll talk about later on. So hope that answers your question, sir.
Yeah, sure. So that means not much has changed over the last almost 30 years, as I see it, because I was in NCC about 28 years back. So Leena, just run us through, if a cadet joins in, let's say, first year of college and gives his B certificate after 2 years, then how does the opportunities to join defense, what is the extra edge that an NCC cadet gets?
Okay. So out of the 7 direct entries to the defense forces, one of it is NCC direct entry. So if you are a cadet in the army, you get a direct entry. That means a direct platform to go and attend your SSB for the army. And if you are in the Air Force, you get it for the Air Force, and if you are in the Navy, you get it for the Navy. So for that, you just have to go to the official website when the call has been given, and you just have to apply, given your credentials, tell them when did you do your NCC, and a little flashback about your NCC, and then you'll get a call, and then you'll be directly there doing your SSB, and that's an advantage because most of them have to go through various exams called as CDS, AFCAT, or the INET. But being a cadet, you just have a chance to go to the SSB directly. So that is one of the direct entries.
So does it mean that the filtration point number one, wherein an average non-NCC candidate would be writing an exam, an NCC cadet would not be writing an exam and directly going for the interview? Is that correct understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes. So if I am an NCC cadet, I can also write CDS, AFCAT, or INET and then get filtered through for the SSB. If I don't want to write, I also have an opportunity, that is the direct entry, to go. But the only difference is the number of vacancies we have for the written exam. So the number of vacancies we have for NCC differ. That's it. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, of course. And Kushal, so my question to you would be, during your NCC times, Kushal, what kind of camps did you do, and what cadet were you, Army, Air Force, or Navy?
I was an Army cadet, sir. So in 3 years, I had the opportunity to do a pretty good number of camps. So I have done all from ranging from your normal annual training camps, that is CATC, Combined Annual Training Camps. I've done a couple of those, and then I have had the opportunity to go and explore my hidden talent, or what I was good at. So I had an opportunity to do a camp called IDSC. So that is Inter-Directorate Shooting Championship.
Okay.
So that's basically a national level competition in shooting. So where you represent your respective directorate, and then you compete against all other directorates for a trophy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's the camp which I was there. So that's what has helped me build my life now. So I am a professional rifle shooter now. I represent Karnataka state.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, those are the few opportunities you get, and various other opportunities as well.
Right. So I'm just getting a sense from you, Kushal, and my question back to you is, for an average cadet who does not, you've done shooting, and I've heard that you do a lot of aero sports in NCC even now, gliding. So can you just run us through, what an average college-going student may not get as part of your routine things? What are those special adventure activities that one would get exposure to?
Okay, so as in case of the adventure activities, a normal college student would actually get next to none, because the only thing he'll get to exposure to is those fests or those meets and stuff that happen in college. But when you're an NCC cadet, you have a lot of opportunities where you can get to explore your adventure junkie within you. So you get if you're an Army cadet, you have a lot of options, as well as all the other services as well. So in general, you have a lot of options, like you have trekking, you have mountaineering, hiking, and then you have rafting, you have sailing, and then you have model building competitions, and then you have national level competitions, as well as I said, IDSC you have, and then you have a para basic course where they teach you how to para jump out of a plane and stuff. And then you have other aero competitions as well, where aero experiences, where you experience the way you glide, you can fly. So a lot of other opportunities as well. And you can also, there is various camps where you get to experience stuff where you don't get, in normal camps, like in CATCs and stuff. You just go through the training, like drill, the theory, and the sort of weapon training and stuff. But there are a few special camps, like army attachment camps and all that stuff, where you go to the places where they train actual army officers. You stay with them for a couple of days. You learn you learn what they do on a daily basis. It's basically like a day in the life of an army officer. So that's how those army attachment camps and all go through.
Sure. No, I still remember what you're saying, and I can so nicely correlate this whole thing, because the first time I ever sat in an aeroplane, in those years, about 25 years back, aeroplane, Indigos and all were not there. So domestic travel was only by train. But the first time I ever sat in an aeroplane was in British Airways. and that was my flight from Delhi to London, and I was part of youth exchange program in the year 1992. So I'm totally, with you, Kushal, that the kind of exposure I would have, to be honest with you, I would have never imagined myself to be going to UK at my own cost. And that's what precisely, when the interviewing officer asked me, why do you want to go to a youth exchange? I told him, sir, at the current levels, it will be very difficult for my parents to sponsor this. So I'm so keen to do this. So it was a fact of life, and I just had a great exposure for 3 weeks. So, Leena, I'm going to lead this question into the SSB as such. And my question is made of two parts, Leena. The first part is, what are the eligibility criteria if a particular candidate from NCC wants to say, hey, this is what I have and I want to go for SSB? That's my first question. And my second question is, how many times can a NCC cadet appear through this, what you're calling a direct platform? How many attempts does he or she get?
Okay. So coming to your first question, sir, if you are a graduate and if you have done your NCC, that is, you've passed your C certificate with a decent number of, say, beta or alpha, then you have all the eligibility to enter the direct entry. Secondly, coming to your second question, there's no such thing as the number of entries in SSB, but there's something called as the age limit. So if you are under 24, then you can apply for the direct entry as long as you turn 24. And it happens twice in a year. So if you are roughly around 20, you get 8 direct attempts to get into the post.
Right. Right. So there are ample opportunities, and I still remember the time, and it's still the same. You know that any person who's joining NCC definitely has an interest to become an armed forces officer, and the NCC is a very encouraging organization. I still remember, and I'm still in touch with a lot of things that NCC does. So enough of opportunity, enough of encouragement. So and Kushal, my question to you now would be, in your present status, as I understand, you are a rifle shooter for state of Karnataka.
Yes, sir.
And how do you think, because you seem to have taken a slightly different curve in your career path, so how do you think NCC's helped you, or does help you today also?
The way NCC has helped me is basically the way I am is all because of NCC. Because the first time I touched a rifle in my life was in my first year of NCC. That was in my first camp. That was a CATC, where you have a section of drills or something that's called weapon training. So that's the first time in my life where I touched a weapon. I fell in love with it on that day. I've never left it till now. So that's what's been, that's what's been with me till now. And lots of stuff that NCC's taught me is, first thing, it's taught me patience. Mm-hmm. And then lots of other things as well, like, it's taught me how to respect the things that I do. So we take a lot of things for granted in life. So it's taught me how to, respect stuff what we do on a daily basis as well. So it's taught me a lot of valuable things in life.
Sure. So Leena, any of your reflections in the past? Now you're a cadet trainer and you interact with NCC cadets as being one of the senior trainers, I would say. One of them who's passed out, but now is coming back in a different role. So any reflections on what would you summarize in maybe a few sentences of what NCC's taught you?
Oh, yes, I would love to. Like Kushal said, that whatsoever I am today, it's because of NCC. I think every cadet you come across will say the same line, because NCC has, I would say, impacted our life on a huge basis. And I would add on to what Kushal says. I was a part of this expert training in 2016, the training the expert thing which we are talking about, the cadet program. And it has deeply helped me to build almost every value I have right now. The way I speak, the way I want to speak, the things that come into my head, the gender sensitivity, almost everything I see right now is I reflect back saying that, okay, I had seen that in my training. Okay, I just can't imagine a life without NCC being a part in my life. Yeah, that's much it. That's
great.
Much it.
So I think as part of leading our viewers to what could they expect in the next video, I think it's been a great conversation in series 1 of these 3 series that we are planning to do. And in the next video, I'm sure we are going to discuss about what happens exactly at SSB over the 5-day period. So with that note, I think we should sign off this particular video, and I'm going to see you all very soon. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
We'll
you
be
so
glad
much.
to have you back.
Thank you, and bye-bye, and see you.